before I do anything else as far as tonight goes, everybody may or may not know what I went through the other night at the Best Western with the little boy, and his name was Steven too. So he's still alive, but we don't know if he's going to recover. So if everybody at some point in time say a little prayer for him, that would be awesome. I don't know if there's going to be a happy ending on that or not, but you know, it made the trip, took it to another level for me, because you know, it could ruin a trip for most people, I think. But still managed to go to Kennywood yesterday. I had an awesome time with my family. And Steve,
almost
you know,
remember it.
Yes, it's definitely the place to, you know, relive memories, and Steve was the first class man to take us there and relive the memories. So thanks again, Steve. A wonderful speech, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to go back in time just a little bit. I'm not going to make this real long, but if my brother was here, he'd be sitting over next to my sister.
Jack Wagon.
And they're the first ones that, you know, played the Beatles records for me growing up, and they're the ones that played all the music that we listened to at 1109 Center Street. 1969,
We also
1970.
listen to Motown too.
Right, lots of Motown. And we're gonna have a commemorative CD for you guys because of that. So that's coming. But shortly after that, my concert career started with the Osmond Brothers.
There wasn't brothers, it was just the Osmonds. There wasn't brothers.
Back then it was.
Oh, really?
Bonnie,
Oh, God,
the
that's
whole
bad.
gang. Even little Jimmy. They introduced little Jimmy Osmond to come out on stage. But anyway, that was Cleveland Public Hall. And from there on, I mean,
my dad drove us down.
yeah, my dad drove us with like 8 people up there, and you know, God bless him.
Scorpio kids.
God bless him, you know, for coming or for taking us and paying and financing all those wonderful memories that we ended up having over the years. Shortly after that, those things changed. It wasn't the Osmond Brothers anymore. You know? And if Phil was here, he'd know that he took me to that first concert with Humble Pie and
Phil's in the shit out.
and Jay Giles. Nah, he'll be on. He'll get it on. Somebody will show it to him on video. But you know, that was '73. By the time we saw Pink Floyd for the first time, and Chuck was there with me, we saw it at the old Three Rivers Stadium. And I don't know about him, but it just, you know, he had already saw Yes, so kind of had an idea what music was really about. But when we saw Pink Floyd, we knew we saw the best concert you ever did see. So, Chaz, class of '77, again, graduate right there.
Speeches. Where's Phil?
He's right there.
Well, he missed most of it, but he can come on in here and get in here for it.
He's always welcome. Come on in,
That's,
Phil.
that-
You're part of the group, buddy.
Well,
Come on in.
that's all right. We already mentioned that you weren't here for the good.
It's all
for the
love.
good part,
Come on
but
in.
But I was there for the walk.
That's all that counted. No, anyway, that's what I was gonna say, because a couple of years later we saw him up in Cleveland for the Animals concert, and you know, what can I say? It was like, if I could go back in time to any given day, that'd be probably one of them, because we had the Monumental Day and the show, you know, Wish You Were Here, the whole thing, Dark Side of the Moon. So anybody that loves Pink Floyd, you know, that stadium's no longer there either. So 2 of the 3 places that we saw Pink Floyd are gone. It's history now. So that's what makes the memories even more special.
And makes tonight new memory all the more
more
special.
special.
Because we can just...
So lastly, and this is where I'll give some props to my brother-in-law and my brother. Right before the wall just came out, December of '79, and Guy showed me this clipping out of the Rolling Stone, and it was this tiny little paragraph that just said, Pink Floyd to play 2 cities, and it was a little blurb about the show being too expensive to bring on the road, and that there was extensive lighting and special effects planned. Well, that's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see. you know, to get me on that plan that I was going. How the fuck somebody from Wellsville, Ohio, is gonna make it to New York and get, you know, one of the few tickets in the country?
We're gonna use our dad's credit card.
We bartered hard with Tookie DeLeo. He was, you know, a little bit leery about.
Tookie DeLeo. What a name.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, it's okay.
Another martini departed.
For the people that don't know, such as my buddy Steve, Tookie DeLeo was Michael Jackson's manager. He was a great man.
He's in the movie Goodfellas.
He's in the movie Goodfellas as Tootie.
Man in the oven.
Wayne's World.
Oh my God! It's like the four
Just
postmen.
deliver one more piece of mail to that kid's address.
And the postman did nothing wrong.
But anyway,
Yeah, he's
that's Steve-O's uncle, Steve's uncle Tookie.
You
Yeah.
Italians are
We
violent.
loved it. And I didn't yell during your speech, so if you want me to finish, we gotta bring it down a couple.
Bring it down. Who's that over there talking?
Okay.
One meeting.
All right. And we are running out of time because it is 7:50. But anyway,
So
we
Tookie
he
bartered.
couldn't get the tickets. Well, he ended up saying he could get the tickets. We'd already had those $75 tickets that my dad unknowingly let me use the Visa card for. Dad, I'm buying tickets for, you know, Pink Floyd in New York. And he's like, wow.
At that time, $75.
Back then, $75 was an awesome.
That was
amount of money.
500.
So we ended up with seats on the floor. David Korak, where you at, David? Right here. He was there. My brother Phil and his roommate from college went the first night.
Phil.
And one time I regret not taking my brother's advice. He was like, "You don't want to do any acid if you're for this show. Smoke a joint and you'll be fine." Well, I took the acid. Okay, pink mescaline, strawberry mescaline. But the bottom line is, it was the greatest concert I've ever seen, bar none. And little did we know we were going to be able to share it all together again 30 years later. That's why I had the commemorative T-shirt made.
I saw.
With the ticket stub and all that. So here's to the memory of the original Floyd. Here's to Roger, still freaking looking great at 70
And here's
years
to
old.
tonight.
And here's to tonight and everybody that made it here for the show. And if you have any walls built up in your life,
Tear them down!
tear down. Let's go to the show.
Let's go to the show.
Who would ever thought 40 years ago Roger Waters